Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. This essay is called We're Self-Immolating. This is a quote from the landmark education reform report, A Nation at Risk. If an unfriendly foreign power had attempted to impose on America the mediocre educational performance that exists today, we might well have viewed it as an act of war, end quote. Alas, I believe the same can be said of so many of America's policies and practices today. But let's start with education. Not so long ago, policy and practice prioritized high potential students. Now, in an attempt to make everyone more equal, the priority is so-called equity. Hence, policymakers have scuttled ability group classes in favor of classes in which gifted and special needs students are in the same class, so-called heterogeneous classes. Programs for the gifted have indeed been eviscerated in favor of massive programs for, quote, special needs youth. Even average and bright students now get less attention, so teachers can attempt to bring up the bottom. Schools are judged heavily on reducing the percent of low achievers. Little attention is paid to average or above average achievers. We have moved merit-based decisions toward the back of the bus in favor of the demographic-based in college admissions, in hiring, and promotion. We have made our taxes so, quote, progressive that the top 10%, according to the National Taxpayers Union, the top 10%, the pool of the most contributory people, pay 76% of the income taxes. I'll repeat that. The top 10% pay 76% of the income taxes. If you owned a solar farm and wanted to add a collector, you'd put it where the existing collectors produce the most solar energy. Today's policymakers are doing the opposite. Many such redistributionists advocate mandating a 30-hour maximum work week that would ensure that we all suffer worse goods and worse services. A worker who is good enough that employers or customers pay them to work full-time or even overtime would be forced to cut their hours to 30 so that people who couldn't even get 30 would get more hours. That's absurdly hurtful to society. Now, that's obviously true of high-level employees, such as physicians, but even customer service. Imagine that the best customer service workers were forced to get their hours cut. You would be more likely to get a worse customer service person. Relatedly, the media provides a fortune in free activism for unions, whose sine qua non is equal pay for workers independent of merit and the near impossibility of firing all but the weakest workers. In entertainment media, and even in news media, the nonconformist is prized, especially people who value gut feeling over analysis. In the real world, yes, very occasionally a nonconformist makes a breakthrough, but the vast majority of the time they are much less contributory than are people who follow the time-honored path of working hard on mainstream pursuits. I am saddened by the number of people today who buy nostrums such as, "Dream it and you can do it." We're not human doings, we're human beings, just be. Hard workers are too often pathologized as workaholic. More often accurate is heroic. Competition spurs excellence, but today we set up classrooms and workplaces to de-emphasize competition in favor of collaboration. We have replaced much individual initiative with teams, sometimes even with all team members getting the same grade or pay. Team decision-making often wastes much time to obtain group buy-in and yields a tepid lowest common denominator decision, the only one that everyone can agree on. Our porous borders allow people unscreened into the country. The pool of people willing to sneak into America is less law-abiding by definition than is the pool of people who come here legally. Your writer deeply believes that our gross national happiness and gross national flourishing depends heavily on a replacement of the aforementioned anti-merit redistributive fads with time-honored policies and practices. Otherwise, that report, A Nation at Risk, could well be right. We're doing to ourselves what countries like China and Russia only wish they could do to us. We are self-immolating. Anyway, that essay is called We Are Self-Immolating. As usual, I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel, and certainly would welcome you taking a look at any of my 34 books. Probably the most relevant to this is What's the Big Idea? 39 Reinventions for a Better America, and my other book, Thought Experiments. But all 34 are on Amazon. Just go there, search on my name, Marty Nemko, Nemko, and you will find more than you can stomach. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.